Here, I'm not going to make this a very long video because I am going to cover a lot of things. With the fuselage mock-up, I have these foam pieces. These foam pieces are just spacers that are going to locate each bulkhead so that it's in the right spot. Also, once the fuselage is built with the bulkheads and the stringers, then these pieces of foam will come out. Let's start at the beginning up here. This is the bulkhead. I decided to go with the blue foam, which is the fan fold. It's 1/4 inch, 6 millimeter, that kind of thing, and should be pretty light. We have 3 holes. 2 of these will be used. They'll have aluminum tubes in them until I get the stringers glued in place. Once I get the stringers glued in place, then I can pull the aluminum tubing and insert cardboard tubing. The wood parts do take a little longer to cut, so therefore I didn't do much video with those being cut. But here's the parts. You can see this is the center section. This is the end. There's a left and a right, or a front and a rear of the battery compartment. This will be the bulkhead. They'll be cut out of foam. Also, I have some that are light ply. The ones that are light ply will be attached to the nose cone and the tail cone section. And one last thing, this is the battery tray. This is the top and the bottom, and then this is the back side. The front side will be facing the door, so you'll see a little bit of that in a couple of mock-ups coming up. I came up with a mounting system for the fuselage so that I could keep it straight, number one, and number two, so that I could ensure that the sheeting got mounted to the stringers. And if we take a look here, I'm just going to do this real quick. If we take a look at this stringer or the bulkhead, I'm going to copy it and I'm going to take it and paste it down here, because this will make a lot of sense of what you're going to see here in a few moments as far as the mock-up. But what you need to pay attention to is the way this works, and I'm going to line this up. You can see here now, this edge, there's going to be a 1x2 inside this slot, and on the back side of this slot there's going to be shims. So what's going to happen is, whenever the bulkhead is set within this fixture here, I'm going to shim the back side, and it's going to push the sheeting right up against the stringer. You'll see it's hitting this stringer here. If we back out, you can see that this slat will hit this stringer, and then this slat will hit the center, the top stringer. This slat will hit this stringer, and this slat will hit this stringer. So whenever I go to sheet the top, I'm going to be using this slat, this one, this one, this one, and that one. Now if I rotate this around, so I'm going to rotate this 180, I want you to watch what happens. 180. And now you can see that all of a sudden I'm going to be using this slat, because see, it meets here. This starts the bottom from here all the way back around to here. So you can see I'll be using this slat, this slat, this slat, this one, and this one. And that will be putting pressure on the skin, on the outside skin, that pushes it right up against the stringer. So I will have good contact with the sheeting and the stringers. So I should get a good bond. So I thought I would go over that real quick here in the drawing. Sometimes it is a lot easier to do it in the CAD program, so that you can actually see what's happening, because of unless you can see the whole thing, it's hard to figure out exactly what I'm trying to convey to you. But at any rate, that's what you see these slots for. So when we do the top side, we'll be using some of these slots, and when we do the bottom side, we'll be using the other slots. The only slot that we will continue to use on both is going to be the center slot. So if that got confusing for you, rewind the video and watch that section again where I just flip it over, because that's the same as rolling it. At any rate, it should make it real easy to sheet the fuselage. And the sheeting that's going to go on the fuselage is simply the blue core. There'll be 4 pieces. They'll go from the center all the way back around. And actually, if we look at the bulkhead, it'll go from here all the way back around to here, and then the bottom side will go from here all the way around. And the reason it's going to be 4 pieces is because the sheeting is not long enough to do the full length. We're going to start by showing you the bulkheads for the fuselage, and these are bulkheads that will be used on either end. They will be plywood because I'm going to be gluing the nose cone to one of them and the tail cone to the other, and these are actually extras. This is the center section of the battery compartment. Here's a mock-up of the battery compartment area of the fuselage, and I've just taped up a couple of stringers just so you'll have an idea how big the actual battery compartment is going to be. You can see that it's about 2 inches larger than it actually needs to be. This will allow me to shift the batteries fore and aft to adjust the CG. Once I get the CG adjusted, then if I need to, this slat here can actually move back to here, and then I can use the front slat. If we look at it from the top, you get a better idea, but you can see that these, I have a slat here, 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 and here. So depending on where the battery actually winds up going, I do have some freedom to adjust the battery. Here's a look at the fuselage mocked up. Now there's no glue on anything right now, it's just sitting here friction fit. The stringers, 1/4 inch by 3/8, 1/4 inch by 1/2. The aluminum tubes, they're used to build a straight fuselage. Once it's built with the stringers on it, then I'll take these out and they will be replaced with the cardboard tubes that you've seen over here. These tubes here will line this hole and these 2 holes.